play right, cause they can't miss. All about the game, that's a cold switch. Serving up the truth, call it ruthless. Tune in and get your fix from Blake and Vish Sports.
Going to the other division, so we just talked a little bit about Bills, Chiefs, then we went to the Niners, of course, because it's Monday. And now we're back to the Chargers. They just played an incredible game. They beat the Browns 47-42. The Browns lost with the same score last year against the Ravens, if you remember.
Yes.
It was an insane game. But, yeah, I don't know. The Browns are just unlucky with when that score comes around. But, yeah, 47-42, Herbert balled out. 400 yards, 5 total touchdowns. Mike Williams played a great game. Austin Eckler played great. So, yeah, do you think that this Chargers team, as it stands right now, do you think they're a Super Bowl caliber team?
Yeah, I do. I think they are a Super Bowl caliber team. They have an elite quarterback. They have probably one of the 5 or 6 best quarterbacks in the NFL in Justin Herbert. The guy is incredible. They have a very good offensive line. Their offensive line has been upgraded, where last year was one of the worst. This year, Rashawn Slater has been really, really good. Balaga's good when he plays. It's a good offensive line now. It's not a very good one. I maybe exaggerated a tad bit with that, but it's a good offensive line. They have 2 really good receivers. Mike Williams might be the best receiver on the Chargers. And most people think Keenan Allen's a top 10 to 12 receiver in the NFL. So, I mean, if Mike Williams is maybe the best receiver in the Chargers, is he a top 10 receiver in the NFL? Because every game it feels like nobody can cover Mike Williams. And I thought he was used like a deep threat mostly his first few years. They kind of just treat him like you're real big, fast, just run by people and we'll throw it deep. Now we're seeing like the full use of Mike Williams games. He's still beating people down the field with just pure athleticism and pure his physical freakiness, but we're also seeing like him use in ways that Mike Thomas was maybe used as Joe Lombardi. It's kind of a Saints type offense. And we're seeing that he's really a complete receiver and he's going to get the bag this offseason and he's going to deserve it. He's a beast. And their defense, they're struggling in terms of their ability to stop the run. Of course, that has something to do with the way Brandon Staley consistently plays light boxes and plays 2 high safeties because he's focused on taking away the pass. But they're a very good defense against the pass. Obviously, Asante Samuel Jr., he's playing really well. Their first 2 picks of the draft have been producing. Derwin James has come back. He's finally healthy. He's playing really well. Joey Bosa is still Joey Bosa, one of the best defensive players in the NFL. I think Kaiser White has been kind of the unsung hero for their defense. Every time I watch their defense, he's just flying around making play after play. I think he's a really, really underrated good player in the NFL. And so I do think they're a Super Bowl caliber team. I think they've proven it. They beat the Chiefs in Kansas City. I picked the Browns to win the Super Bowl this year, and they beat the Browns in a shootout. Granted, Greedy Williams got hurt and Denzel Ward didn't play, but they still beat them. That's very impressive, even though they beat them at home. And then I love that Brandon Staley is married to the analytics, going for it on 4th down, going for 2, just having a good analytics understanding of game situation to me is incredible because I think it gives the Chargers a chance in any game because he's willing to take the necessary risks in order to win the game. And to me, that's really important. So I do think that they are a Super Bowl caliber team for sure.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm putting that. I think in the AFC right now, they're in this top 4 range. I think they've kind of slid into where we had the Browns, the Chiefs, and the Browns, Chiefs, and Bills. I think they're in that tier now. I don't know if the Chiefs are still in there because of that defense, but yeah, I think the Chargers are in there. They just recently beat the Chiefs. They've beaten the Browns. Those are 2 teams that we kind of thought would be the best 2 in the AFC. So they've been good, and their one loss was against the Cowboys, who have been amazing this year, and there was some interesting refereeing in that game, so not going to go into detail, but that was interesting. And the only thing I have 2 things that are kind of stopping me from this. Otherwise, I think you summed it up how good their team is. The 4th downs. I think the NFL is going more towards analytics, but they are just it seems like they're converting at an unreal rate right now. Every 4th down, it seems like they're converting. Now, can that be sustained? Can they continue to do that the whole season? They might be. I mean, Herbert's been insanely accurate. It seems like they have the right play call when they need it on fourth, but it's asking a lot to just convert every fourth down. And then along with that, a reason they're going for a lot of these fourth downs is because their special teams, especially their kicking unit, has struggled a lot. And I feel like this has kind of been the Chargers of the last, I mean, ever since the 2000s, right? Their special teams is always struggling. Their kicker, they had the Money Badger a few years ago. He struggled. Now they have Vizcano, and he misses a lot of extra points. It almost cost them. They missed 2 last game. They've missed some earlier in the years too, and that's one of the reasons they've been going for a lot of fourth downs. So that concerns me. And the other main concern is this run defense has not been strong yet. It just is not. And I think a part of that is because you mentioned Staley does go a lot of too high safeties, and that kind of invites the run when you have one less guy in the box, right? But they got ran over by the Browns. I mean, the Browns ran over them. Now the Browns kind of do that to every team, though, right? So you can kind of expect that. But the Cowboys looked really good against running against them as well. So that's one thing that I'm concerned if teams are going to be able to control the game flow by just kind of running down their throat. But yeah, I mean, besides those two maybe issues, I really don't think there's much more bad you can say about them. They have Justin Herbert. Their O-line's been great. And one thing too is this team does not miss on first rounders. This team's track record of first round picks is unreal. The only one was Tillery, who's a D tackle, but besides that, I mean, they just Bosa, Slater, Derwin, it is incredible. So I really don't know what else to say about these Chargers besides they have a loaded roster now. They have a young not rookie, but rookie contract quarterback who's stepping it up. He was great last year, and this year he's been even better. So sky's the limit for this team for the next few years until Justin Herbert gets paid $500 million.
Yeah, he's definitely going to get that contract and he's going to deserve every penny of it. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm 100% with you. I agree with the things that you should be nervous about with the Chargers. But I think their kind of saving grace is Justin Herbert. I think the shocking thing about Justin Herbert is, yeah, he's so physically gifted. Yeah, he throws rockets like with perfect accuracy all the time. I'm kind of shocked by how good he's already playing in structure in a brand new offense. Like he plays within the timing and rhythm of the offense, like as good as any quarterback in the NFL, which is kind of bizarre for a young quarterback because even the ones that were really, really good fast, like Watson and Mahomes, the first couple years they didn't always play quarterback perfectly, but they played quarterback like 95% of the time really well. And then they like the other 5% of the time they would just do ridiculous physical things that you would be like, oh my God, they can't do that. Herbert is basically playing quarterback perfectly the 100% of the time. And because he can do that and he can make throws like nobody else can with insane accuracy. Like I think he's the most accurate quarterback in the NFL. Every game, I feel like I don't know what his completion percentage is, but I feel like every throw that he makes is catchable. It's in the exact right spot. It's crazy how hard he throws with that accuracy. He's just the great equalizer to me because he's really a special quarterback, and I think the sky is really the limit for the Chargers team. This Chargers team, I don't think a lot of people had them as one of the Super Bowl teams. I think people were thinking Bucks, Browns, Rams, Bills, Chiefs before the season. The Chargers are definitely to me in that category.
Mm-hmm, definitely. So we have Chargers up there. I know we kind of mentioned them in our preseason predictions as a sleeper team or dark horse. And yeah, they've kind of been fitting that bill so far. But